Hello everyone. This is Mariposa, and I want to thank you for stopping by to watch my back to school teacher slash homeschooler haul video. If you are new, welcome. And if you enjoy what you see and would like to see more, please like the video. And if you think you'd like to stay around, please subscribe at the end. So I am coming on today to share a very different video. I will be sharing a haul of supplies that I picked up as a kindergarten teacher from the Target dollar spot near me. I'm also going to be talking you through how I'm going to use these both remotely and also in class. My particular district has decided on 2 to 3 days in person each week, and then the remaining days being out of class, remote. So when I usually go to Target in July, and I always love going to Target and doing back to school shopping for my classroom, it's with a much more open-ended lens. This year was different. My big question was, how do I provide students for home instruction with the same resources and materials that I do in class? And even more importantly, how do I make sure that those materials are going to help with engagement? So I'm going to start off with the 3 things that I'm planning on using only in school. I get these every year, and they're the name tags. They come with 48 tags, 24 sheets. I usually put these down on the table. And as the children come in, I ask them to find their name. Now, this is a great opportunity for assessment, and this is a great opportunity for me to support learning and to start to figure out what kind of learners my students are. If they can't find their name, I might give them a hint and tell them, okay, well, I think your name starts with an H. Let's see if that helps you find it. But yeah, so the other thing that I should make note of is that I will be mentioning how I'll use things for assessment as well. So the other thing that I picked up and was very excited about was this brand new stamp. I've never seen this before. And there is the ISBN number. But it has the tens frame and the number line, which goes up to 10. And my plan is either to make pre-stamped templates, which the children can then, well, actually this year I'll probably put in their in-class kits, which I'm thinking about designing because they're not supposed to share. But then I can also, apparently I've just learned that you can scan documents in the notes section of smartphones. So if you have the notes app, you can do that. So then I also thought I could they'd be familiar with it from school, and I could upload it into Google Slides lessons or use it in interactive lives. Really excited about that. Once they learn how to use those tools, then I would have them use it independently to show me their thinking. The last thing that was new is this adorable little checklist stamp, and it has a stamp, a star, an A+, and a circle, a check, and then a large box. Now, I didn't like the small boxes, but I do like this large check box for small fingers. So I would put them along this side or even cover these up. And yeah, I just thought, again, this could be a template that lives in the classroom. I could also, just like this one, upload it and use it in online lessons, but we could also build this together. So in an interactive live, I could ask my students, if we were studying narrative, what are 3 things you think your narrative story should have, guys? What do you think? And yeah, and then I could just write that in front of them on the checklist so they know before they write their story what to expect. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to things that I will probably only use in school for the remote learning portion days. So I actually use these every year in classroom, and I love them. I absolutely love them. You give the kids a dry erase board and they're good to go. But I was thinking about sending them home this year, and each pocket, different colors came with different sheets. So I was glad that I picked up 20, 5 of each color. So like the lime green ones came with this multi-lined paper, which I thought was particularly wonderful in terms of the spacing and the dottedness, because we use foundation and we talk all about the importance of that dotted line. So this would probably not be a sheet I sent home at the beginning of the year, but later on, March and onward. Another one came with these blank equation setup. And this one came with the space for drawing and the multiple lines. Now I could make a copy of this and send this home later on in the year, again, February, March, but I was thinking about whiting out, excuse me, this line and then all of these, and just sending home the large drawing portion and one line for the beginning of the year. So the children would get one of these with 1, 2, 3 sheets in them, or multiple other sheets that I think we would need for the lessons for the beginning of the year. And obviously this could be used for math lessons where I'm, modeling how to set up an equation, and we're discussing the meaning of all of the symbols. And then they do it together. This could be used for them to draw for any kind of drawing lessons or writing lessons, my apologies, that we do. Some of the parents I noticed when we did online instruction in the past had a really hard time uploading. So this would be a nice way for them to just hold up the paper doing live, and I could do quick assessments on how they're doing. So I was thinking about using those in that way. I also picked up these name tags, and this is again something that I use every year. I love that it has both the right hand and the left hand, numbers 1 through 10, all the shapes we would cover this year, as well as the upper and lowercase letters. And these are nameplates. There's 30. I always write the name of my students in the middle, and then this lives where their seat is. If seats need to be changed or if they move around the room, then their name tag moves with them. This year, they'll have them in school, but then they'll also have them at home with all of these additional resources for any lessons that we'll need. But this will help them with writing their name, if they're asked to write their name during in a Google Slides lesson, or if we're doing a live together and I ask them to write their name. So I was really excited about getting my hands on those. And then I picked up a set for myself to use in lessons. Again, they're called nameplates. And again, I would write each child's name. And as we're doing a live, I could ask the children who believe their names start with the letter A to hold up their names. Or if you think you have the letter B in your name, hold up your name. So again, great way to assess how they're, or do a check for understanding within the lesson. I also picked these up. Now I'm probably going to have to get my hands on 2 more of these because they're 14 count, which I figured out, and I'll show you a little later, is actually comes to 7 children. So I plan on cutting these up and putting them into a smaller Ziploc baggie. But let's say we were working on, again, as we would be at the beginning of the school year, letter identification and the associated sound. We tend to focus on the uppercase letters first. So I would say, okay, who remembers what letter makes the T sound? And then everybody would hold theirs up, and I can actually see it on the Zoom screen or whatever platform my district decided to use this year for lives. But I could also have them, because I'm going to use these because they're not cut up, sound out words and spell CVC words. So, okay, friends, we're going to write the word, we're going to spell the word, or who can help me spell the word sat? First letter is S. What's the next one? Ah. And then they can hopefully pick the A and put that down. What's the last sound that you hear? T, t. And then they would put down the letter T. And I guess I'm thinking parents could like pan, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing about Zoom because you can see everybody. You know, they could, if they're, you know, they could use the device and either show me or they could hold it up in front of the screen. So I was excited to be able to send that home. The next thing that I picked or found was a dry erase poster. It's pretty large. And my notes about how to use each thing. And this was only $1. And just to show you the has been. And I'm thinking that I will use this year to model write sentences during lives, to model write letter formation. I'm thinking about setting up a cart, teacher's cart, as well as a classroom space in my apartment. So this would hang in that space and we could do sight word writing as well as sounding out words and encoding. So yes, lots of possibilities with this. I thought that was a great find as well. These two I was excited to find as well. They're safety lanyard packs. And no, I don't think we're going on any trips this year, but what a beautiful way to help me learn their names and for them to learn their names and each other's names while we're doing live. So, you know, the name is right on the child. And I probably have the parents adjust the lanyard so that they could be seen. But yes, I'm excited to send these home with the students as well for those 3 reasons. And then I also picked up 2 sets of blank notebooks. And here's the information about that one. And it's literally a blank notebook. So at the beginning of the year, we tend to focus on, you know, setting the children up for being writers and most importantly, the skill of using shapes to draw detailed pictures. And then we kind of monitor their picture drawing over the year. So I thought an open blank space or even 2 pages was much more appropriate to help the children develop that skill in September than a composition notebook. Now, that's not to say that a composition notebook will not be sent home, because I have a feeling parents are going to be more comfortable with that. But I think when they see the possibilities of how these can be used, I think it'll work nicely. I was just really excited to send that home with students. And I've got 2 more before I show you an actual kit. So I also picked up this paddle, and it's a dry erase board. They were only $1, which I was stoked to find out. And I'm thinking that this would be another wonderful, a specific way that I could do pre-assessment, end of lesson, lesson assessment, not unit, and checks for understanding. So as a math example, let's say we were working on simple addition up to 5. Okay, friends, Miss Lisi is going to write an equation on the screen. Who thinks they can figure out the answer? Write your answer on your paddle. So 1 plus 3, and then they write or draw the sum. Another example is I like to have children respond in symbols because in early stages of kindergarten, they can't write sentences yet, but they can draw. So Y would be for yes, N would be for no, for example, and they could just write that quickly on the board. Did you like the story? Yes, no. How are you feeling? Did you like this character? Turn to someone in your family and say why, but they could write the yes or the no. I was also thinking that this could be used in responses during read alouds, and so many other ways, as well as SEL, emotional check-ins. So I could hold up a chart with pick 3 different smiley face choices, and they would draw the smiley face that shows me how they're feeling today at the beginning of the lesson. Lots of possibilities, and I thought a paddleboard was lots of fun because we still want to have fun. this year as much as we can. Okay, so the last thing is the building block game. And this was going to specifically be used by me at home during lives, during the kind of we do part. So let's say once again that I was trying to get them to spell the word, the sight word at. I would say, okay, friends, who remembers the first letter? And I would write AT on the blocks. And then somebody would raise a hand and say A. Okay, so where should I put it? So, the fact that they're blocks and they're building makes it interactive, makes it more engaging. I thought that would be fun. It actually comes with the pen. And they give you ideas about how to use it, but I thought it could be used for sight words, CVC words, and phonics. So not only could I ask them to tell me how to spell at, but okay, friends, if I wanted to spell the word set, then what letter could I put in front of it? And I could, draw an S if someone says S and add that to it. So there's a lot of possibilities with this one as well. I was excited to get my hands on that. And that is essentially all the things that I picked up, and a little snapshot about how I'm using them. The last thing that I want to share was what this kit, which is what I'm going to call it, looks like. Now, we had a committee at our school that was working on the opening plan, and I know that things were ordered for students to use in school and out of school. This was from my own class, take on things that I felt that they would need, and these are separate from what the school is ordering. So as you can see, there's the notebook, the paddle, the dry erase folder. That's not what it's called. Dry erase pocket. These sets of letters, and now I can show you that. See, it goes from A to M and then N through Z. And then the name tag. And this, if you don't know, is a memory keeper storage pocket. You get them at Hobby Lobby. Now, I was originally thinking about giving them a Ziploc bag, but from the experience in the classroom, I know that those will last about a month. These are super durable. And I use them actually at home to store my crafty kits. So I thought this would last a lot longer. And $1.99 is not so bad. I was able to get some. They had a recent sale, and I was able to get some for 99 cents. So I got 20 of those. So I think that's a much better, or something like this. Maybe even the 99-cent store near you might have it. But I just figured with what I'm sending home, that they needed something much more durable. And I just also feel like this will be taken more seriously. I can label the child's name on the flap, Ashley's learning kit, put the class, my name and the class on a label here. There's just so many more possibilities to make this feel like more schooly than a Ziploc baggie. So yeah. So that is the end of my share. I really hope you found something of value, but more importantly, I'd really like to hear your suggestions for using these materials, your suggestions below on how you're using materials remotely to support your students this year. And I want to thank you for stopping by and taking the time out of your busy day to watch my video. Have a fabulously blessed day, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care now. Bye.